everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica and 11 baby chicks. I'm sorry.
Like I said, it sounds like a spring day. It's perfect for Easter weekend, which is when we're recording. So, okay.
True.
Yeah. So, it's time for those 1 minute book recs. This is where we go over all the books we read in the past week with 1 minute synopsises for each book. But before we get started with that, I'm sure Mandy has some stuff to tell you about besides the baby chicks.
Yes. So Noelle and Mr. Goose went to the vet yesterday. Is this what I'm talking about?
No, stuff for the channel.
Oh, Mr. Goose whined the entire way there and almost all the way back.
Sounds
He
about
does
right.
not travel well.
Our dogs don't either. Mm-mm.
No. Anyway, I'm sure that's not what the people want to hear about. They want to hear about how they should hit that subscribe button so they can be entered to win our 26 books of 2026 giveaways. We hope you guys are enjoying that. Right now we have Snap Decision by Lisa Suzanne. Just take a screenshot that you've subscribed, head over to her Facebook readers group and post that. And one lucky winner will be winning that. We will announce the winner in next week's 1 minute book recs. And in next week's 1 minute book recs, we'll probably be announcing our next giveaway. So very exciting stuff always happening here on the channel. And as always, we love it when you like, comment, and hype up our videos. That helps us get in the algorithm more.
Yes, it does. Okay, so let's talk about our reading weeks. How was yours?
Well, I was really busy last week, so I didn't get as much reading in, but also we recorded on Sunday, and so normally our cutoff would be Friday, and so I was trying to get a couple, I think I had two, an ARC and an ALC that I was trying to get in, so I read on Saturday that I was able to use for our Sunday recording to get those in a timely manner for the authors so that they were, close to their publication dates. So I didn't do as well. Well, I shouldn't say that.
You still did great, I'm sure.
Yeah. I got 7 in. One is for convincing though, so we won't really, I'll just kind of refer everybody back to that video.
Okay.
On my spreadsheet, I was 2 books short of what my goal was for the week.
Damn it.
I know. So now I have to make that up this coming week, but it's spring break, so maybe I'll get some reading in. Although we actually have sunshine today, so I'm very excited to get out and do some yard work.
We've had sunshine almost every day this week, haven't you?
It's been like cloudy and ugh,
oh, no.
But like I actually went outside today in a t-shirt and I wasn't freezing.
It's perfect for those Easter egg hunts. I gotta go stuff some Easter eggs now that we're thinking about it. We do a glow in the dark Easter egg hunt. I have
to go get ready for Easter too. But everybody watching this has already had Easter, so hopefully everybody had a great Easter.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so for my reading week, I read 9. One is technically is a trilogy, but I didn't get to book 3, but I was reading it for reasons. And it was like a roller coaster. Yeah, it was a roller coaster of a week because it started out great and then it went to pot and then it went back to great. So we'll see how this goes. So are we ready to get started?
Yes, I'm so excited you're going first. This is like the first time in a really long time.
Begging. I bet you actually read 12 books, but you couldn't handle the thought of going first again.
Yeah.
And so you just cut that number down.
Yeah, I'm secretly hiding books that I'm reading so I don't have to go first anymore.
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's traumatizing, isn't it? Okay, well, we're going to talk about my first book. I'm not going to talk very long about it because I can't. But I beta read for BJ Alpha Untamed, which is her newest book in her Mafia Daddies 2 series. So we had our Mafia Daddies. Now we're going to have a spinoff of that, and she's calling it Mafia Daddies 2. So this is book 1 in Mafia Daddies number 2. We're going to have a chat about that. It is a little messy in my head. But this is Macio's book. We met Macio in Daddy Vinny's book, which is the last one in the Mafia Daddy series. And this one, like I said, I can't say anything because, I'm not allowed, but I will say that, oh my God, it's got all my favorite tropes and it's so good. I gave it 5 stars and I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it, but it won't be out until June. So just write this down for June. You're going to want this one. It's full of all the same Mafia Daddy stuff and shenanigans from the other books and the kinks, and I don't know what else to say. It's BJ, guys. Loved it. I can't wait for you to get your hands on it.
I'm excited.
It is bodyguard. I'll tell you guys that there is a bodyguard premise in this one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I picked what is happening?
Spring fever. Oh, like hay fever? Spring fever. I get it.
I don't know. So I picked Duke by Jessica Peterson for my read for our buddy read in April. I'll put the graphic up, and we're doing 4 books. It's going to be wild and chaotic, but a lot of fun. We'll have a giveaway on it, and we have some fun little swag. Again, keep those expectations really low so you'll really like the swag.
Yes.
Really low, people.
Really low.
They're fun, but I just don't want people to think like when I say swag, like it's a bunch of stuff. It's a small swag item. That's fun. Anyway, so I decided that I want to try and read the series. What's it called? Lucky River Ranch. I want to try and read that series in anticipation for my book as well. So I started with Cash, which is the first book in the Lucky River Ranch series. And this is going to shock everyone. The hero's name is Cash.
Shocker!
So we have Molly. Molly lives in Dallas, and she is described as kind of like a city girl who lives in Dallas. She wears like the cowboy outfit, like cowgirl outfits with the bling, and she designs cowgirl boots, but it's all like not for like ranch life, but kind of like that city country look, I guess you could describe it as. So her dad she's been estranged from her father. He lives about 3 hours outside of Dallas on the ranch. And she finds out that he's in his 50s and dies suddenly, unexpectedly. So she has to go out there to hear the will read. She pretty much knows she's going to inherit everything because she is his only child. But Cash is there. Cash has been running his farm, and he believes that Garrett is leaving the farm to him, the ranch to him. And him and his brothers have been running their own ranch, but it's kind of in dire need. And so he's been running this ranch to try and be able to finance and afford the ranch that they have and not lose it. So he's like really kind of counting on this opportunity, and he's devastated when he finds out that Molly has inherited the whole thing. She knows nothing about ranching, had nothing to do with Garrett, and Garrett was like one of his closest friends and mentor and that sort of thing. And so he's kind of irritated, and in the will it says she has to come live there for a year and be part of the operations before anything can happen, like before she can sell or anything like that. And so she reluctantly decides to go do this because she is going to get a stipend while she lives there, and that will help finance the company that she's trying to build. I loved it. It's such great enemies to lover vibes. I love the cowboy, the ranch feel, like everything was just really, really good. 5 stars.
Okay. All right.
Oh, well, it is one of those books. Like sometimes we've done like worth the hype, needs more hype book rec videos. I would say this one is definitely one that's worth the hype that you see around it.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
Alrighty. Next. Okay. So next I picked up, audio came out for a book that I've been wanting to read, and one that I got from my Galentine, Sophia. And so I picked up With a Little Luck. This is by Jillian West. This is the 3rd book in her A Very Pregnant Omegaverse. A Very Pregnant Omega Finds Her Pack Omegaverse series. That is a friggin' mouthful. So this is about, it's a standalone though. You can read it as a standalone. This is about Quincy. Quincy is, at the beginning of the book, she is taking care of her ailing grandmother. And one night the nurse says, you know what, go out and go have fun. She goes out, she finds out that her boyfriend is doing some crappy stuff, and they break up. And she's out at a club and she needs some help. There's some things happening, and she sees the biggest, meanest looking guy in the room, and she goes straight to him. And that is Ridge. After Ridge protects her, then they end up having a one-night stand that night. And the next morning, she realizes that there's been a whole bunch of phone calls on her phone, and she walks out of the hotel room. The door shuts behind her before she can leave any note. And she finds out that her grandma has passed away, and so she has to get home immediately. Well, then we fast forward 8 months later. She is working at a restaurant with Hart. Hart runs the family restaurant. He is a retired NFL football player, and there's kind of a thing between the two of them. And she also has this creepy regular customer that everybody finds creepy, but she kind of likes him. And she's 8 months pregnant, by the way, with Ridge's baby. And somehow Ridge is going to get brought back into the picture. All of them are going to get brought back into the picture. I gave it 4 stars. What I really liked about this one is that normally when we read Omegaverse, the pack is already established. The pack of guys have been together since they were young or whatever. That is not the case in this book. She builds the pack with the guys that she starts bringing in. So, and eventually Ridge gets brought back because she has no clue where he is, and she's trying to find him and all that stuff. So it's kind of one of those surprise I'm pregnant.
She builds the pack. I wonder if she is selective. Like, you look like you would be a good chef. You're in. You look like you could build bookshelves. You're in.
Yes, that's how I build my pack. You look like you do the laundry. You can stay, Jeffrey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one thing he does do is my laundry. He's allowed to stay. Okay.
Okay. Next up. So the next time you're complaining about his obsessive cleaning, I'm just going to be like, well, at least he does the laundry.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, no, he does more of that. He is obsessively clean, but he does do the laundry, so he gets that. But I still have to cook dinner every single night.
I can't wait until we live together and I don't have to cook dinner anymore.
Yeah, this means I'm never going to get a break. Nope, I'm sorry.
We can Uber Eats. We'll just have to make sure we live somewhere near a P.F. Chang's or Texas Roadhouse.
We're going to spend a lot of money on Uber Eats. You know what?
Yeah.
In our old age, we won't care. We won't care if we get fat either. Okay, next.
Okay. So then I went to book number 2 in the Lucky River Ranch, which is Wyatt's book. And back to my book buying problem. I am in the midst of collecting all of the deluxe editions here. It's a problem. So we have Sally and Wyatt. I'm sorry. I have the window open and a plane is going overhead.
I can hear the chicks more than the plane.
Oh, really? It was so loud. Okay.
I just heard it for a split second.
Side note, I live out in the middle of nowhere, but my neighbor has an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
So when he like comes and goes, it's like really quite loud because it's not loud, but you know what I mean. It's because it's right next door. Anyway, so this is Sally and Wyatt's story. Wyatt is Cash's brother, and he and Sally have known each other. I think they've been like best friends since childhood, like 2nd grade, we're talking. And Sally's always been there for him. So when their parents are killed, Sally is the one who comes home from college and spends time with them and just makes sure like he's okay. Oh, my timer already went off because I didn't pause it when the plane flew over.
Keep going.
Okay. So, well, I barely got into my story here about the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tangents. So, this is what happens.
So then we see a little bit of their friendship told like in flashbacks. I might need to shut the window, but he's probably...
I don't hear him at all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, not at all.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
Where was I? Okay.
I have no
so
idea.
This is told a little bit in flashbacks, but not too much. But now we're at a point where it's like present day time and Sally has come home. She is going to school to be like a vet surgeon. And she's back home for a couple months while she's waiting for her, basically her dream job to start in New York. But it's like New York City where she's going to be working at this university as a vet surgeon. And she has struggled a little bit in her dating life, and Wyatt is obsessively jealous. And he's confused by his feelings of how obsessively jealous he is. So he gets Sally to agree to let him teach her how to date and all of that. So they start this like fake dating situation, but Wyatt is in love with her like big time. But his life is at the ranch and Sally has these big dreams and he loves her. He does not want to be the reason she doesn't get to pursue her life. And I just fell in love with these two so much. They have some great banter. 5 stars.
Okay. A side note, Wyatt is one of my favorite names. Like if I had another kid, I'd name him Wyatt. If it was a boy, I like Wyatt. I'd name a girl Wyatt. Just saying. Okay. Well, next I started a lot of books and I couldn't get into anything. And it was a real problem for half a day. And so I was like, you know what? I just need to do a reread and I just need to go back to my comfort reads. And so I picked up an Ice Planet Barbarian. So this one's Ice Home, not Ice Planet, but this is the spinoff. So I picked up Mari's Mistake because it's good. So this is about Mari and T'Chai. This is book number 10 in the Ice Home series. So we see in this book Mari meets T'Chai after an incident occurs in the first book in the Ice Home series where they end up on a tropical island. And they don't fulfill residence when they first meet. There's a lot going on, like an active volcano, and they're just trying to get away. And it's like a whole thing. So now they're back on Ice Home Village. T'Chai got hurt very badly and had to have the healer try and heal him. She thought he was going to die. It was a really bad situation. Well, in order to heal him, Veronica, the healer, had to turn off their queeze because it was a matter of them trying, their queeze wanted them to resonate, but it was also trying to heal his body from a very severe injury, and it just couldn't do it. Well, now that she's turned off their cooties, Mari doesn't like him. Like, she doesn't want him to touch her. It feels wrong. It's this is her, that's what they call it, Mari's mistake. She made a mistake in saying yes, turn off resonance. And so this is them getting their relationship back and getting that back for them and how you do that. Loved it. I loved it. Obviously, I've read it several times, a couple of times. I loved it. So,
okay.
And then I felt better after reading that.
Okay.
Okay.
Next up, I read Keeping Her Under by Miranda Grant. I don't think we need to switch over for this. This was the dark and twisted, unhinged, crazy, convincing video from last week. So if you like dark romance, go check that video out. Jessica had 7 great recommendations there.
I did. Okay. All right. Ready for my next one then?
Yes.
Okay. So I read 2 books out of a trilogy for reasons. And we're going to talk about that. I've talked about it already this year, early in January, because I reread it then too, but I'm in the midst of it right now. So that is the Cloister trilogy. So the first 2 books are The Maiden and The Prophet by Celia Aaron. And so we'll just talk about this because it is a trilogy with a story that goes along all 3 books, obviously. So this is about Delilah and Adam. So Delilah is trying to figure out who murdered her sister or how her sister died. Her older half-sister was found dead about a year ago. And she knows that her sister joined this cult and she was a maiden in this cult before she died. So she decides to infiltrate this cult to figure out what happened to her sister because they just don't know. So she joins as a maiden. So every year there's 12 women that are picked. They're perfect. They're pure. They train these women. And then eventually the corrupt, nasty prophet uses them as his spies because they marry governors and those guys out there as well. When they get there, they're assigned these guys to watch over them. And they're like disciples in the church. And that is where she meets Adam. He is the prophet's son. And he is assigned to her as her watcher. And things just go crazy from there. So if you like dark and you like cults, which a lot of us do, and you haven't read these yet, the audio is amazing. The books are great. Teddy Hamilton. This was one of the very first Teddy Hamilton audiobooks I'd listened to. So Teddy does do the narration for the guy. So
Teddy's been narrating the dictionary.
I know. I asked for a phone book, not a dictionary.
He's been doing that, and then like the grocery list. It was funny.
It was pretty funny.
He
even made the comment about the phone book in there too, because I was like, "Where's the phone book?" I said I would listen to him narrate a phone book, but we don't really have a lot of those out there anymore. So,
no,
yeah. So, okay, what do you got next?
Okay, next I have Krampus Kruk by Serena Peer. And this is a dark Christmas novella. So the audio is coming out for this on April 7th. It's done in duet by Theodore Zephyr and Madison Mitz, and they do such a great job. Theodore is phenomenal as an older daddy vibes, like that really grovelly voice that just really fits the story so incredibly well. So it's not Peter, it's like Pator. He's 64 and Morgan is 29. So this is a very large age gap. I know some of you have been asking about that lately. So here you go. So Morgan goes into this bar on Christmas Eve. She's kind of avoiding her family because they're just not the greatest of people. And in walks Pator. He sits down next to her. And it starts a very, very smutty good time between the two of them. He's involved in the mafia, a little bit more on the retired side of that. This does have the daddy brat BDSM stuff in it, which I really liked for this one. So again, I don't know if I hope I said it's in duet. It's just done so well. And so if you're looking for Christmas in springtime, now is the time to go listen to this. I really enjoyed it. I didn't feel like sometimes when you try and listen to Chris or read a Christmas book outside of the season, it doesn't really work. This one worked for me just fine. So I highly encourage you, if you like audio, to go grab this on April 7th. It's definitely worth it. And I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, cool. Well, let's
Just
talk
to
about
write it down so you have something to read at Christmas time when you're always
Oh, I
complaining.
won't forget. I won't forget that one for sure. Okay. So now this is where my week took a little bit of a downward spiral. Um and I just didn't care. So let's talk about my next book. So I read Seeking Peace by Sandy Alvarez and Crystal Daniels. This is about this is number 8 in their Kings of Retribution MC Montana chapter, which again, a mouthful. So it's about Ember and Blake. This is the last book in the series. They just got audio for it. The book's been out for a while. Ember is a club bunny, and I hate when they call them club bunnies. She's a club whore. That's what they're called. I hate when we soften this crap. But anyhow, and he's one of the MC members. We've seen him throughout the other books. He has a dark past. He was a little bit of a nomad, and now he's there. He and Ember have a connection. They have a relationship. His past comes back to haunt them. She's collateral damage. I didn't care. I gave it 3 stars. I felt like that was being generous. It wasn't the writing thing. It's just they all sound the same. By the time you get to number 8, all of their books just felt the same, and I just didn't give a shit. So,
ouch.
I didn't. I was bored. Not that it was horrible. I mean, if you guys like them, cool. Great. It wasn't horrible. I just didn't care. So bored. So there you go. Next.
Okay.
Okay.
I got a little bored in my next book too, and I almost I don't want to talk about it because I love the author so much. I can only say that I feel like you have broken me a little bit.
Don't blame me for you getting bored. Your tastes are evolving, and this is a good thing. Okay, tell us about it.
So this is the second book in the Windy Harbor series by Willow Astor. It is What It Takes. And so we have Juju and Camden. Juju and Camden they're like best friends with each other's siblings, and we have a lot of flashbacks to when they're much younger, like in grade school younger, and how feelings have gotten hurt over the years, and now they just really can't stand each other. And Camden needs Juju to do some pastries for his restaurant, and they just kind of keep bickering with each other. The part that really hung me up on this is Camden really likes her, but he made a promise back when they were young kids that they wouldn't date each other's siblings. And so he doesn't want, he's just kind of mean to her at times because he likes her, because he doesn't want to like her, because he made the promise to the brother. And I just got bored. And I'm so sorry. Normally, I really, really like Willow. I will say I have the ALC for the 3rd book in the series, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I can't wait to be done here so I can go listen to it while I work out in my yard on this beautiful sunny day. So I think it's that trope.
Mm-hmm.
I can handle best friends, brothers, but if we're going to be if the reason we can't be together and we're going to be mean to each other is because we made a pact when we were younger, yes, it just feels silly.
Yeah.
If there's some other reason, then great.
Yeah. I'm just too old for that crap. So I don't like it. So I get
Well,
it.
I've read it a few times where it's like the the girls are friends and she's like the one girl like has gotten frustrated because like all through high school everybody just wanted to be her friend to get closer to her brother, and so she's like, I don't want to like make her feel like that sort of thing. I can even kind of understand. Like, I mean, there's some things where I can kind of understand it, but this one I don't know, I got kind of bored. I
No,
still rated it 3 stars because there were parts
okay.
I really liked, but I think it's a me thing.
Probably. Well,
I'm
and just that
sorry.
whole thing, like, you're not in high school anymore. So no,
No.
this doesn't work. So yeah. Anyhow. And for me too, when they're like, oh, I promised your brother who died that I wouldn't date you. Dude's dead. He don't care anymore. It's all good.
Yeah.
Have at it. Yeah, doesn't work for me. Okay, let's talk about the next book that didn't work for me either. Okay. This is great. We're just gonna have a rant today. Okay.
Oh,
So I
books that
read
didn't work.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with this book in general. It just didn't work for me. So this is Stolen Vows by Cassia Quinn, and it is a mafia romance. This is about Sophia and Roman. It is the first book in her Twisted Arrangement series. Sophia is engaged to somebody else. It's an arranged marriage. They've been dating for 9 months. Her father actually allowed her to date him, although she's only seen him like 3 or 4 times during this time. He's an abusive asshole, and but she's stuck with him. It could be worse. At least he's only a couple of years older than her and not 40 years older than her. So she's looking at the bright side of things here. And then you have Roman, who is a big, powerful mafia man. And he comes in, he wants to get revenge for whatever he wants to get revenge for, typical story. And he blackmails her father into calling off the wedding with the other guy and arranging the marriage between him and her. And when that happens, it's actually at her engagement party. So then he takes her when that happens and takes her to his house. He's a widow. His wife died. He had a wife prior. She died. There's some secrets there. There's some things there. I gave it 3 stars. I just didn't care because here's the deal. It felt like I had heard this story before. If you're going to write mafia, you got to find a way to keep us entertained. We read a lot of mafia, and for for those of us who read a lot, keep me entertained. And I just wasn't entertained. So I gave it 3 stars. I didn't care. I was bored. Somebody else might love it. But for me, I was like, same song and dance. Here we go. I need more.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Book club. We do have a winner, so mark your
Oh,
calendars for book club. So our book that won is Stolen by J.M. Johnson. This is an MC trope. Book club is April 24th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So mark your calendars. Make sure you read it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be. I didn't look to see because I already own the audio because I was going to listen to it no matter what. But because I've just had it. But there's audio for it because we do that. I don't know if the audio's on sale, but that sale is
It
still
is.
going on Audible.
I texted you
Oh,
about
you
this.
did. You did. Yes, you did. That it's on sale.
Yes.
So guys, it's on
So
sale.
it was really cheap when I went directly to Audible, but when I went to Amazon and got the KU book and then tried to grab audio, it was more expensive. But
Yeah.
audio was significant. It was only like a few dollars. There's a lot of good sales.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's only like a 7-day sale. So when
Yeah.
people are watching this, like run to Audible because it's not going to last much longer. But there were some really good ones. I got because I'm trying to get caught up on Laura Pavlov's series. I was able to get I think, was it Magnolia Falls? I can't remember. One of them I was able to get like almost the entire series for
Yeah.
just a couple dollars. And while we're talking, Harlow James, Covington Cove's entire series is available with 1 Audible credit now. So she has that bundle. So you can get the whole series for 1 credit. So
yeah. And I saw that too with Devaney Perry. A lot of her series right now are bundled up as well. And they're even in the sale. At least I think I had them in there. So you could do them for an Audible credit, but they're like 5 or 6 books or more.
I mean, whenever I can do 5 books for 1 credit, that is phenomenal.
Yes,
for me.
exactly.
I love that. So
okay,
there you guys go. If you're audio lovers, go check that out.
Go do it. Okay, what's your next book?
Okay, my next book, because I'm obsessed. If anybody watched our March wrap up, they'll know. And will not be surprised that my next book that I read was Embers by Claire Kent, which is number 3 in the Kindle series. So, oops. Why is the timer not working? Oh, there it goes. Okay, sorry about that. So this is Cal and Rachel's story, and this is boyfriend's dad. So I was down for this one, obviously. So we have Rachel and her boyfriend. They are barely surviving after the impact. I think we're like a year into it at this point, and so things have not gone well for them. And her boyfriend is the air quality is really bad. A lot of people are dying because their lungs just can't handle it, and that's what's happening with their boyfriend. And their town where they've been staying has been, it's just no longer safe. So they decide to go and try and find her boyfriend's dad's cabin, like up in the woods where he's living. They are kind of estranged, but this is like their best option. So as they're trying to make their way to him, he actually is coming to find them. So he takes them. They live, I think, another year up there together before the boyfriend gets, passes away. Then we fast forward a couple years now into their story, and the two of them are living together and really have started to make this small cabin a home, and things are starting to get better. Like I love like just the little like glimpses of hope with like when we see like a bird again and like things like that, and a little bit more of the sun is coming out and flowers are starting to come back and things like that. So this is the story of them. Cal was not a good man, and he harbors a lot of guilt and feels like is he feels like is stuck with him. He doesn't feel worthy of her. And he struggles with the fact that this is his son's girlfriend, even though he's been passed away for a few years. And so we see New Haven in this. And oh, I just really loved being back there again. And still, there's like the problems with like society, a fallen society. So I rated it 4 stars, really, really enjoyed it. And I am eager to read the next book in the series. I might be really sad when I finish everything by Claire Kent.
I think that's as far as I went in the Kindle series. There might be one more they did afterwards, but I can't remember. I can only do them once in a while. I know you want to binge them, but I have to take a break only because I need my post-apocalyptic a little more high stakes. I love them. I do enjoy them. And also I don't want to finish it yet either. I've got them sprinkled out.
I know, that's why I was like, I'm gonna like do one a week or something.
Something like that. Yeah, because I think I stopped there and I was like, I want to read the rest. I actually own them. I own them all, but I was like, I need to sprinkle them out.
Yeah.
They're more, for me, they're a little more palate cleansery post-apocalyptic, if that makes sense at all.
No, it does. It does. They're not like as gritty. I mean, there are some things that happen, but it's not constant.
Yeah.
And like when they go on trips, sometimes bad things happen, but not always.
Not always.
Where I feel like in some of those stories,
if you're leaving where you're sanctuary, you're screwed.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so
you have to be ready to be jump scared at any minute.
Exactly.
And the Kindle series isn't quite like that.
No, it's kind of a comfort post-apocalyptic read. So anyhow, let's talk about my next book. And I'm a little like, this one takes the cake in weirdness. And I honestly don't know that I would call this a romance. I felt like this was erotica. And I was like, I don't know why I'm reading this, but I did. So Addison Kane has a has a duet type series. Like they're two different characters, but it is an alien one. And I was like, let's do this. Let's try this. Shouldn't have. Okay, so this is Thirst by Addison Kane. Let me tell you guys a little bit about this. It is a novella. It is about a guy who is this tentacled, cyclopsy, it's got 3 eyes, warrior guy who goes to
hot.
Yeah, I know, hot as hell. Goes to a meat market of some kind, buys a human woman, takes her back to a spaceship, and breeds her. She's his pet. That's what it is. And honestly, guys, that's literally the whole book. There's tentacles, there's breeding.
Okay, I'll turn the timer off.
Yeah, thanks. I gave it 2.5 stars. I rounded it up to 3 on Goodreads. And I think that was my limit. Just because it was nothing but smut, and I want a story. The hell was that? So anyhow, so there you go.
All right. Well, next up, I have Harlow James's next book in the Blossom Peak series. This comes out on April 10th, and the audio is done by Aiden Snow and Ava Erickson, so you know it's going to be fantastic. So this is Test of Time, and in this one we have Ronan. Ronan, we've seen him in the other books. He's the single dad sheriff, and he goes out with Elliot to a bar outside of town, and Vienna is there, and he like, the title of this chapter I think is The Wrong Dick Awakes Up, but he is very taken with her, and they share a moment. She says she has to go use the bathroom, and she ghosts him. And he's kind of devastated because this is the first time he's been interested in someone since his wife passed away 5 years ago. And he then, heads back home and finds out that she is his daughter's long-term substitute teacher. And she's also his new neighbor. And so they're kind of thrown together. And then there is a situation where he overreacts in the moment and is quite mean to her, and then goes to apologize. And apologize does he? Yes.
Okay.
So the two of them, from there, this deals with some loss. So there's a best friend, and it was sad. I cried a little bit in this one, and then I also laughed hysterically. And Harlow does a really great job of getting you invested in everyone in her book. It doesn't feel overwhelming when there's other characters in there. And now I'm really excited for Elliot's book. I hope we will learn more about his dick piercing that he got in this one, because it was quite the story for this one. So I just love this one so much. There's also a little bit of a mystery in it, because Vienna she's kind of a heroine on the run, actually, in this one a little bit. And you know how those things always come back to bite you in the ass. So
Yeah.
a little bit of high stakes at times. This, I rated it 5 stars, and honestly, I think this might now be my favorite Harlow James.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the dick piercing.
Yeah, there's some really funny moments in it.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Was that your
that ends
last
my
one for the
week.
week?
I ended my week
Okay.
really well.
Okay. Well, I ended my week really well too. Let's talk about mine, because that's the last one and we kind of have to. Okay, so this is one that several of us, Megan, I'm looking at you. I know you already read it though. Several of us have been waiting for, and that is Claimed Omega by Mary Magdalene. This is the second half of her Twisted Omega duet. There's going to be more. I know there's going to be more in this world. I already talked to the author about it. They're already written, and they just need to go through an editor. So yeah, we're going to continue on with new Omegas and packs. But this is the second half of the book. The first book was very angsty, and V was in the situation with her pack, who she's been with for 5 years. They brought another woman into that pack that was their set match, and V is just neglected left, right, and sideways, and she still has to live with it because of the laws of the land and all that good stuff. So this book picks up right where the other one leaves off, with V in a very rough situation. And this book really had a lot of healing in it for her. We still get some of the angst. It's not as angsty, because this is more of her journey to healing and what happens with her pack and what happens with the people that she's met along the way and the people who have been brought into her life because of this. But we do see that set up for the next one. I gave it 5 stars. It was friggin' fantabulous. I can't wait for more in this world. They're all going to be very angsty. So
cool.
Color
I
me
love
happy.
a good angsty book. I might have to try this one of these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's nothing, you're questioning the whole time, what's going to happen? Who's she going to end up with? Like the whole time. It's just great. So. Mm-hmm.
If I didn't have such a strict reading schedule.
You and your reading schedule. Okay.
I have books I really want to read. So it's not so much a reading schedule as it is just the list of books that I really want to read. I just don't have enough time to read everything I want to read.
Never do.
I need to stop listening to the books that you're reading. I need to stop going to book events. I need to stop looking at books and just read what I have. But I don't want to do that. I like
No.
listening to the books that you read,
Yeah.
and I like going to book events. So this
Yeah.
is just the perpetual state that I will probably live the rest of my life in.
Pretty much. Yeah. I've come to terms with that already. I feel like you need to too.
I hope to one day be like in my 90s, freaking out that it might be the end of my life and I have not gotten everything off my TBR.
We'll see what happens.
Oh.
So, all right.
Anyway.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Well, make sure to check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And normally we do have Wednesday videos, but this is our spring break week and we both have lots of other things going on. I have some nice weather, so I'm really needing to get outside and do some yard work. And we just have stuff happening. So there won't be a Wednesday video this week. There should be a Wednesday video next week, though. And according to our schedule, we should have Wednesday videos coming up. We had one planned for this Wednesday, but something came up and we're just like, let's just take a break from Wednesday video. So I am going to put out something on Wednesday, though, for everyone to give you something to watch if you're interested. It won't be a new video, though.
Okay.
Little teaser.
All right.
And now I need to write myself a note so I don't forget my idea.
Okay, do that because you'll call me and I'll be like, I have no clue what you're talking about. So
please hit the subscribe button and tell your friends.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in that next video.